Welcome everyone to this episode, which is number 9 in our series. Introducing Nintendo's Racing Color TV game 112 variants. But before we dive into today's adventure, let's look back at last week's What in the World question from episode 8. I thought I was being a little too easy here, but perhaps it caught you out. Please let me know in the comments below. It was the unique controller from the 3D Virtual Boy that was shown here, launched to nearly universal and widespread condemnation and criticism, and more than a few headaches, way back in August of 1995. In 1978, Nintendo brought their third offering of a home games console to market. However, this was not a Pong clone. This product offered customers a chance to play a new type of video game. The 112 color TV game from Nintendo allowed people an opportunity to race cars using a computer game, an experience that was remarkable in 1978, especially at home and in their own living rooms. So let's say a big hello to the massive color TV game Racing 112 console from Nintendo. It is one of the first home video games that had an actual steering wheel which was used to control your race car. It followed TV Game 6 and TV Game 15, both from 1977. Like all games in the Color TV Games series, it is a dedicated game machine with hardwired gameplay and a fixed number of game variants. Racing 112 is a big game, and was sold with a really big box. The console features a steering wheel and gear shift for single-player game mode, and 2 paddle controllers for 2-player mode. The game was sold at launch for a rather high cost of 18,000 yen, which would be reduced over time. When opening the box, we see the steering wheel is included loose, to reduce the dimensions of the game and prevent the need for an even bigger box. The steering wheel can be mounted easily on the console, and taken off again after playing. Like all other color TV games, the set includes an RF switch. In the 70s, TV sets were still produced primarily for watching television broadcasts. This allowed the owner to switch between gaming and television quickly. The console measures an impressive 43 centimeters wide. The steering wheel is 18 centimeters in diameter, all of which gave it a nice dashboard feel. The Racing 112 name is included on a bright metal faceplate on the front. Like the 2 earlier color TV games, the Nintendo name is still not displayed prominently, only on the box and on the bottom of the console. The gear shift and steering wheel on the front side of the console are used to control one of the one-screen cars in single-player mode. The gear shift has 2 positions. First gear is up. Second gear is down. On the backside we find 2 cups for storing the paddle controllers. Racing 112 requires an external 9-volt power adapter, which had to be bought separately. When switched to 2-player mode, the 2 paddle controllers are used to steer the 2 on-screen cars. These cars are separated by a fixed meridian center line. These controllers have a good nice size length cable, which is fixed to the console, much like the Color 15 game prior. The paddles are well designed, and the turning knob is a good size, allowing for relatively precise control of the cars. The objective of the game is straightforward. You need to pass as many cars on the track as possible without crashing into any of them. Every car passed scores a point. Game variants are selected using the many switches on the control panel that we saw previously, showcased in this video. TV Game 6 had 6 game variants. TV Game 15 had 15. After looking at all these switches and related settings, and doing a bit of math, it's true that the Racing 112 really has 112 game variants, although many are very similar to each other. Color TV game Racing 112 is a fun and challenging racing game. As one of the earliest Nintendo home video games, it was rightly honored with a mini-game later in Nintendo's long history. This time it showed up in WarioWare incorporated game for the Game Boy Advance console. Let's look at some real gameplay. Ignore the flicker from the CRT television. In real life it's not distorted or flickering. Let me power up this console. Here we see the first of their major gaming options, single player with a light blue screen. The second choice is still a single player option, but the road is now a lot smaller. Nice pink background too. The third and final option is the 2-player selection. A meridian or center line separates this 2-player option. It has a deep blue background. So those are the 3 primary choices of gameplay. In single-player mode, the steering wheel moves the player's car left and right on the screen. To start a game, the red reset button must be pushed. The program waits a few seconds and the player's car starts going forward in relation to the cars that need to be passed. That concludes our brief look at Nintendo's third console offering, from way back in 1978. Some respected sources say that this Nintendo console is credited as being the largest console ever manufactured by Nintendo. I think I have a bigger one, but that's a story for a later date. This brings us to that part of the show where I like to ask the important question, what in the world? This photo and item is a bit more tricky than usual. Do you know what this is? Answer in the comments below. Want to see more fantastic Nintendo jewels? Well, we've hundreds of other items to present to you, right here, on this channel, so please stay tuned. Thank you for watching. Please think about liking this video. To keep updated on each and every new episode, think about following us or even subscribing to our channel. As with all presenters and video makers, any donation would be gratefully accepted. Thank you once again, hopefully we'll see you soon.